Right now, two people in America each owe exactly $100,000. One of them is drowning, the other is getting richer because of it. Same amount, same word, debt. So why is it destroying one person's life while quietly building the other person's fortune? Some of the wealthiest people in America use debt on purpose, every single year, on purpose, as a tool. The answer isn't about how much debt you have. It's about what that debt is actually doing for you. And in the next 4 minutes, you'll know exactly how to tell the difference in your own life. Financial educators have long drawn a simple distinction. An asset puts money into your pocket over time. A liability takes money out of your pocket over time. Debt itself is neutral. What matters is which side of that line it lands on. Take a car loan on a brand new vehicle. The moment you drive it off the lot, its value starts dropping. Every payment you make is going towards something that's worth less tomorrow than it is today. That's debt funding a liability. Now take a loan used to buy a rental property or to invest in building a small business. If that property generates rental income or that business generates profit, the debt is funding something that can pay for itself. And then some. That's debt funding an asset. Same word, same monthly payment structure, completely different financial direction. Here's where it gets more interesting. Economists have long studied the difference between good leverage and bad leverage. Leverage simply means using borrowed money to increase your potential return. Used well, leverage can accelerate wealth building. Used carelessly, it accelerates financial damage just as fast, in the opposite direction. This is why the same tool, debt, can either be the fastest way to build wealth or the fastest way to destroy it, depending entirely on how it's used. So how do you tell the difference in your own life? Ask one simple question about any debt you're considering. Is this going to put money into my pocket over time or take money out of my pocket over time? Credit card debt used for vacations, electronics, or things that lose value immediately almost always falls on the liability side. High interest rates make this worse. Credit card interest rates in the US have often run well above 20% annually, which means the cost of that debt compounds against you just as powerfully as investment returns compound in your favor elsewhere. A mortgage on a home you live in for decades is more complicated. It's not purely an asset in the investment sense, but it can build equity over time. And in many cases, the alternative, renting, doesn't build equity at all. This is why many financial planners view mortgage debt differently than high-interest consumer debt. Student loan debt sits in its own category too. It can fund something that increases your future earning potential significantly, which pushes it toward the asset side. But the same loan, used for a degree that doesn't lead to comparable income growth, can sit closer to the liability side instead. The debt itself doesn't determine the outcome. What its funding does. Here's the twist most people miss. Wealthy individuals aren't wealthy because they avoid debt entirely. They're wealthy because they're extremely selective about which debt they take on. They ask the asset or liability question before signing anything, not after. This doesn't mean debt is something to chase recklessly. Leverage cuts both ways, and taking on debt for a business or investment that fails can be financially devastating. This is general financial education, not personalized advice, and evaluating any debt decision should involve your own risk tolerance, income stability, and ideally, a conversation with a licensed financial advisor. But the core principle holds regardless of your income level. Debt isn't inherently good or bad. It's a tool, and like any tool, its impact depends entirely on the hand using it and what that hand is actually trying to build. So the next time you're offered debt, whether it's a credit card, a car loan, or a business loan, ask yourself the same question wealthy people ask before signing anything. Is this going to work for me, or am I about to work for it?